From their days in OVW to their numerous clashes on the main roster, to the point that everybody and their mother and their mother's mother and their smother's brother got sick of them. But on May 10, 2025 in St. Louis, Missouri, we got to see John Cena against Randy Orton one more time. We're going to celebrate the fact that this overbooked nonsense is fucking done. Sam Muchnick is rolling over in his goddamn grave and giving double birds to the sky. I don't even know if Sam Muchnick ever gave double birds to anybody, but he gave everybody the proper payoff. Sam Muchnick was nowhere near this show. If he was, boy, would that finish have been a whole lot better, or at least far less overbooked. I'm John Renton with my review, WWE Backlash St. Louis 2025. For the Enterprise Center in St. Louis, Missouri. So that building can hold around 22,000 apparently, and they had around 17 to 18,000 people. And yeah, this is the first WWE review that I have done since the Raw after WrestleMania. I will quickly explain why. I'm burning the fuck out on the weekly product. I'm taking a bit of a break, checking out the clips or the stuff on Netflix that I feel like, but I just don't feel like reviewing it. I'm just going to dive into more movies or take a break. Because I'm in my mid-40s, I'm hurt, I'm old, I'm tired, and a lot of this wrestling is apparently booked by children. Look, I recognize that they were going to have to do something convoluted and ridiculous for the main event, and I'll get to why at the end of the review. But if I'm going to knock AEW for the overbooking with the Death Riders and other stuff that they do, I gotta knock it here. Triple H ain't a fucking genius. Y'all can have him if you fucking want. I've been right about him for years. So have other people. So the last time they were there was on the 7th of October last year for about, they had about 8,300 people, which isn't great, so they had more, but this is a pay-per-view. God knows how much people paid. I did end up missing most of the show due to the fact I was just finishing work as the pre-show started, and then I got home after running errands and getting food. Which I think the food might have actually made me feel ill, so I'm fighting possible food poisoning as this goes on, and this just gave me more gas. Pershard Owens was singing America the Beautiful. I glimpsed and thought Odyssey Jones was back, and then realized, no, this guy actually has talent and doesn't seem to have any skeletons in his closet, allegedly. The talents arrive, we get a video package, pyro, the smaller stage. The crowd looked and sounded great, I will say that much. Fan in near the entranceway had beautiful Bobby Eaton for Hall of Fame on the sign. That was very nice. Love to see the Midnight Express in the Hall of Fame. Shame that Bobby Eaton is no longer with us. So we get the entrances for LA Knight. Yeah, we get Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, and Jacob Fatu, who was super motherfucking over here. I have, praised Jacob Fatu since seeing him on the Indies in this area a number of years ago. And the fact that I got to meet him about 6 years ago, 6 years ago almost on this day. Same day where they had Penta and Phoenix in a tag match, and Phoenix ended up kicking referee Aubrey, and we were almost ready to storm the ring. But Jacob Fatu is super thrilled for him. He's battled through a lot. He's made his mistakes. He's come out on the better side, and he's doing great shit here. Super over. It's a fatal four-way U.S. title match. I'm not going to get into a lot of detail about the moves, because they were just spamming a lot of their shit, but they were laying the shit in. Yes, it's a four-way. I'm kind of sick of the four-ways, but they made this work for the most part. They got their shit in. We have Fatu chants. We want tables chants because they're going to cheer for the furniture. And Fatu suddenly gets upset. Now they're just provoking him, so run or lay down and let him pin you. It would be a whole lot easier. So finisher spamming. Claymore, but the referee got pulled out by Priest, and then they just fought off. They fought to in a particular place with some conveniently placed tables. South Heaven chokeslam. Rumor has it that Drew may have landed badly and is being checked for a possible head injury. I hope that Drew McIntyre is okay. But they were taken out of that. And then Solo shows up after LA Knight does a couple things. And Fatu doesn't look very happy, but then he looks even less happy when suddenly Jeff Cobb shows up. He's on the main roster. His retirement lasted all of a couple weeks, or a week. Of course he was kidding. He's done in New Japan. I don't blame him for taking that WWE check at the end of his career, at least his full-time career, because he's in his early 40s. beat up, still in great shape, but the time is now. Ironic, given the Cena was in the main event, to capitalize on Jeff Cobb's abilities, and he's very, very good. He's also very nice if you ever get a chance to meet him. And so he attacks Knight. Fatu didn't look very happy. He eventually hit a moonsault 1, 2, 3. They popped for Jeff Cobb, but that kind of cooled off the crowd a little bit. They were happy that Fatu won, and then he just kind of walks by both of them. Where is Hikuleo? How have they hidden a 7-foot guy for like a year? I just don't understand. But good on Jeff Cobb. Happy for him. Happy Fatu retained. So, the next Saudi show is Night of Champions on June 28th. I may review it, I may not. I don't know. I'm not going to be watching it live because I'm going to be working. So, Becky Lynch comes out, and then Lyra Valkyria comes out with wings on a prayer and also a more focused face. I actually thought at first it might have been job face, and I thought Lyra might have been losing. But then again, maybe she's just more determined. Women's Intercontinental Championship match. The crowd totally turned on Becky. I mean, there was a smattering at times of support for Becky. And I want to address what Becky talked about in interviews. Yes, people want her to step aside. The people that bring up age are wrong, though. Because she is right. There are older guys in the main event spots, and they don't get nearly as much shit. I'll give shit to everybody I feel that have done just about everything they can, and maybe they're hanging on too long. And I like Becky. And I understand what she's trying to do, but it feels like DLC that nobody wanted at the end of a full-time career. It feels like she's passé. Not as much as Charlotte, because Becky put some effort in here. She didn't sandbag it. And her and Lyra had a good match, but they did a lot of spamming. They did a lot of finisher spamming. Lyra has really improved, though. Becky did yell at Lyra's fiance, and some people said, oh, that's her fiance? How could she get married to him? Or be married to him? Maybe he's a really nice guy, and maybe they're happy together? I mean, whatever. If it turns out he's a jerk, let's pick on the guy. But she's happy with him. He's happy with her. Let's be happy for these crazy kids. Superplex for 2. We go back and forth. An axe kick off the ropes. But she just gets a 2 because she kind of gets confused. Lyra does armbar, counters, manhandle slam for 2. Then she gets a chair. The referee's like, no, we're not going to do that. And then Becky rips the top turnbuckle pad off. Okay. We get some back and forth. Lyra hits the middle turnbuckle. Doesn't end up, so it's not the exposed buckle, but we get another manhandle slam for 2. And then the ref tries to get the pad as Lyra hits Nightwing. And it's delayed just long enough for Becky to kick out and protect the finish. Ref, you suck chance. And right in the eye. Ow, my eye, not supposed to get, a man in it. And who hasn't had that problem? Guys. And then it looks like Becky's going to roll her up for 1, 2, 3. But no, Lyra reverses it and gets a 3 count. And then beats Lyra up some more. And it looked like Lyra actually got her nose busted before that, and I think she got concussed because she really looked lost. So I hope she's okay. And I'm not knocking Becky. These things happen, but it did look a little bit rough. So so if you're happy about SummerSlam and you're going to be there, I hope you know some Cardi B. Why is she here? Oh, she is here. She's going to be hosting. Nobody gets that reference. I bet nobody knows what movie that's from. So Penta gets a big pop and he faces Dominic, and Dominic actually got a pretty good reaction. Yes, Dominic has improved. I mean, he couldn't have gotten much worse than he was, and he has improved. Intercontinental Championship match, I feel like I said this before. There was a nice, dive into a DDT through the ropes to the outside. That was good. Good stuff. A Destroyer on the apron later. I didn't really pay a lot of attention to this. I was kind of zoning out. It wasn't bad, but it was a TV match. So Carlito shows up, and Balor and JD show up, and then Balor's like, wait a second, let me go get a chair. Oh, the referee caught me. We're kicked out, because he really doesn't want to help Dominic. He just wants to make it look like he's still upset that Dominic pinned him. And then Penta does a dive, and then everything comes crashing down. Because Balor's still distracting the referee. Gable shows up in his Grand Americano Frappe Cappuccino mask. and attacks Penta and a frog splash 1, 2, 3. Dominic winning didn't bother me, but I'm like, okay, now, if this is what they're gonna do, this is stupid. Like, this is really... This will probably lead to Penta and Phoenix teaming up and taking down Gable and somebody, but I don't know. That drug it down, because this Gable stuff's stupid. Gunther against Pat McAfee. I want to say right now that I understand what they were going for, and it worked, but then it went twice as long as it needed to. Some call Michael Cole the GOAT. And you know what? I agree that Michael Cole is the GOAT. The goat that should be sacrificed in a satanic ritual. Let me get my wavy dagger. Preferably he should meet the same fate. I'm sorry, but he is just not that good. And he was ridiculous here. And I know the idea is, okay, he's supporting his friend. Well, good for him. His friend's an idiot. Pat stumbles over the ropes just like he stumbled over that apology to the Algerian boxer. Good job there. And Gunther toys with him, so Pat got some shit in, but just got one count off a move, and a bomb of Boston Crab. Cole then gets off the commentary desk and tries to encourage him, and then I was just like, Megan Page, chop him. If Cole's family's watching, chop him in front of his kids. But a big boot, after Pat tries to stop all this stuff. Cole then grabs the foot, and I thought we were going to get a pin. If we got a pin off of that, he has the green light to make sure that Cole never does commentary again. So, Pat then tries for a sleeper, but then Gunther gets the sleeper on, and Pat fought out of it way too much. He eventually passed out. It went twice as long as it needed to. Pat didn't sell the sleeper nearly long enough because he was already up on his feet within a minute. And a show of respect, we got no laying out at Pat, so he's not off commentary. No Bill Goldberg. No nothing. Bill Goldberg's probably going to show up on Raw, as Bill Goldberg is known to do. Or we wait until near SummerSlam when we see Bill Goldberg have his retirement match as Gunther defeats Bill Goldberg. So, standing out for Pat. I hope the Cardinals and Blues never win any championships ever again. It's what you guys deserve. So, Orton gets a big pop. Hometown guy. Cena gets big cheers. And look, people are like, oh, they were playing the greatest hits. And it was fine. But then the overbooked nonsense was okay at first. But then it just got ridiculous. I mean, I got nothing. There was an RKO out of an AA. There was an AA for 2. An RKO, but no cover. And then there was, there was a missed punt and an AA for 2. And then the ref bump. And the ref got bumped twice, I believe. And I was zoning here because this was 30 and it felt 60. I'm sorry. I know there were people that were praising this. That's fine. I know this is the last time we got to see it. But you know what, guys? I hate to say it, but if the 2014 Royal Rumble had been the last time we saw them face off, that would have been okay. In a singles match, because I know they were part of the Team Cena, Team Authority thing at the 2014 Survivor Series and went absolutely nowhere. But then we got another AA, and Cena gets the title. And then we got an RKO, but just for 2. The second ref comes down, because they have 20 refs, but every ref apparently was taking a piss or getting a hand job behind a dumpster outside the arena. I don't know. And then they do a table bump, where an announcer's table bump, and the table doesn't break. We go on the table, and then the table gradually prolapses. And Randy then gets a table that the crowd absolutely cheers. And the crowd's cheering Randy like crazy. I'm not knocking, but Cena took another AA through that. And then the second ref is down. And RKO for 2. And then Aldis and all the agents show up. All the Aldis agents show up. And then Aldis takes an RKO. And then a bunch of people take an RKO, including one agent that I have never seen before. I don't know who that guy is. He took an RKO. And then Truth stops Orton from hitting the punt. Because Cena's his hero. And then Truth takes an RKO, low blow, and the title shot wins it. And Cena winning isn't the problem, but that was overbooked nonsense. This is y'all's genius, huh? I got problems with both mainstream wrestling shows, and Jesus. This doesn't even make me want to watch, like, Saturday Night's Main Event in 2 weeks. I'll see how this video does, and I'll see how I feel. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Recklin. I'll see you soon.